wholeness, and as always, this is just my perspective, and in lots of cases, my experience. So always take resonance or stick with ignorance. I heard somebody say something, and I get it, and I think I had that mindset for a couple years too, to where in this existence, if you don't honor your ancestors, you will fail. That sounds nice, but failure is a perspective. You might fail in the aspect of you didn't do anything to work on your quote-unquote bloodline, but if you've never been acquainted with your bloodline, you can't tie that into the sense of a failure. You understand that? Somebody who only been acquainted with organized religion, and again, don't take this personal, but somebody who has been strictly Christian their whole life, and everybody in their family has been Christian in the life that they are acquainted with, that's the format they believe in. So they don't have any ties to their ancestors, and following the guidelines of that level of worship is where they're going to measure their gains and losses. And that's fine and that's fair. I think it's when you get to the point of realization that there is more outside of religion, such as ancestral styles of worship, traditionalism, animism, what people classify as paganism and things like that, but traditionalism, just stick with that. Once you start coming into awareness of those and you start wanting to reestablish the connection to the ancestors, and now you say the ancestors are really the driving force, which again, if you pay attention to anything I'm telling you, it's just as dangerous. Like I say, a lot of people switched out from Jesus being the head of their life to now the ancestors are the head of their life. They're guidance systems. At what point do you become the head of your life, and when there are things you need assistance with, you know where to go to? See the difference? Not, everything ain't gonna come alignment until they give it to me. No, versus, here, let me get off my ass and do some work, but I know I'm stronger when I got an army with me, behind me, beside me, and in front of me. Ta-da! Not begging and pleading and can't nothing go wrong and can't nothing go right because God gonna put you through something, the ancestors gonna put you through something. It's like, when the fuck am I gonna stop putting me through something? When am I gonna take accountability for when I went left and when I went right, and these were the results of my choices? So I say all that to say, you cannot tell somebody that they are going to fail if they don't have acquaintance with fill in the blank. Because the other thing that I've noticed and what I've seen firsthand is that somebody who did grow up in one of the organized religions and then step into traditionalism and stuff like that, they will feel like they failed, and they will feel like, holy shit, I left the concept of God to find me, and now I feel like everything's falling apart. In some levels, that's a truth. It's because you have been contained and constructed by those systems of belief that were derivative to that belief system. Everything in your realm is Christian, Muslim, whatever based. So once you step outside of that and you start to see the operating field outside of those belief systems, it's going to feel like you don't fit. It's like you now become the square trying to fit into the circle. You have to endure, and you have to start understanding to where I can't expect to bring one into the other, and I can't keep comparing what I received in one to what I'm now seeing in the other, because at the end of the day, it's still me making the choice. So I see a lot of people get caught into fear mind of, holy shit, I stepped outside of the church and now I went over here and I started burning sage and casting spells and dealing with crystals and again this, that, and the other, and it wasn't working for me, so I'm gonna go back to God. My problem with that is at what point did you work for you? Again, keep trying to pull in more tools, more concepts, more points of items that you can pinpoint the responsibility on, but you never really stood for yourself. Again, y'all got this little funky ass saying, standing on business. The business you need to stand on should be you. Because standing on business but tying in all the profits where you make your gains and losses onto something or someone else, that ain't your business. That's still another level of enslavement. So stop telling people that they're failing because they don't have a connection to their ancestors, just like you can't tell people they're failing just because they no longer have a connection to your concept of God. It's at the end of the day, whatever you're connected to, you better have a connection to you first, or whatever you're connected to will eat up all your light. And if you're not strong of mind enough to see where I have to do some kind of work and not just want to reap the rewards, you get what you get. So at the end of the day, learn you and then apply yourself into all these other concepts and systems and beliefs and ideologies and allegories and allegations, fairy tales, fallacies, fantasies, and lies. If you're gonna lie in it, make sure you ain't lying to yourself. Believe in what you want to believe in, but if belief in yourself is not at the forefront, you's a fucking fool. With respect, as disrespectfully as I can say it. Wholeness. But you motherfuckers love your separation.
Baby.